Hello ladies and gentlemen! The Oktoberfest is right around the corner, and if you've ever been to Munich around this time, you probably noticed that there is Dirndl advertisements everywhere. It gets crazy. The weather is pretty shitty outside, so I thought I'm gonna stay in here and I'm gonna draw something cool. So I wanted to fuse my love for traditional Bavarian clothing with a video game franchise. So what better franchise to pick than Overwatch? Let's go! And by the way, if you're wondering why I'm not shooting this in a Dirndl, it's because I don't have one. Alright, so that's a sketch I did yesterday and I'm gonna walk you through it really quickly. Yeah, and then let's get into painting this thing. In the background I have the giant Ferris wheel. That's what it usually looks like. So definitely want that, also because it is a big round shape, which will help me hopefully lead into the composition. I'm still not that good at composition in general, so yeah. So here in the background I wanted to have Tracer and her girlfriend pointing towards the Ferris wheel, just to have some action in the back here. And then here I wanted to have Torbjörn and Reinhardt just enjoying some beer and just being off to the side. And here in the front I wanted to have Mercy as my main focus. Ignore her face, her weird face for now. And I wanted to have a bunch of colorful balloons behind her to kind of replace her wings, and also just to have some more stuff going on here. So my basic plan for this image is to have the focus around here and then have the eye kind of go in a spiral over here. I have no idea if I'll be able to pull that off, but that's the plan. I think at this point it would also be cool if I show you my reference. I took the Overwatch artwork from the official page and I just took that and then I just started painting over so I could also grab the original colors. Yeah, since that was really the fastest way of figuring out what works and what doesn't. For Mercy's dress I made 2 color variations. I'm still not sure which one I'll pick. I'll probably have to figure that out when I paint. So yeah, these were also a bunch of Reinhardt references that I collected. Tracer and her girlfriend, whose name I always forget. And I originally wanted to include Widowmaker in this image, but she didn't really fit the idea that I had, so I left her out. I wanted to take this opportunity to show you, a bit of stuff about Dirndls, since I've seen quite a lot of artwork that tries to draw a Dirndl and they just use shitty reference and it just looks wrong. And since half of the part of designing something is understanding it, I just wanted to quickly give you an overview if you ever decide to use this info for any of your drawings. There's usually 3 lengths of Dirndls. Let me get a better brush. And they're also very form-fitting. They're very form-fitting at the waist, and then they get wider at the bottom. And there's the long ones. They can they can go up to like your ankle. Then there's like the ones that just end above the knee. So the long ones are the more traditional ones. The ones that end above the knee are like I would say the regular ones that also most young girls or younger girls wear. Really young girls mostly wear the long one, and also older women, also the long one. And there's also a version which is called the party Dirndl, which has a lot of negative stereotypes attached to it. It's really short and it's, I would say, a more modern version. Just ignore Widowmaker's boots under the dress. That's another thing, like you wouldn't, you would probably wear more lady-like shoes. So wait, let's just make hers. Widowmaker can do whatever she wants. I'm just gonna let her. Alright, so now we've covered the 3 lengths and there's actually not much variation in the length. So if you decide to go for one, then yeah, know that these are the 3 that exist and know that this is like the more modest version to the more extravagant, outgoing version. Alright, then let's move on. One thing why you should probably draw a dirndl at some point in your life if you are a character artist is that I see a lot of character artists put a lot of emphasis on boobs. Even though when they draw characters that clearly just wear a top or like a normal bra or everyday clothing, guys, boobs don't work that way, please. It looks stupid. So yeah, what if you want to draw boobs? A dirndl actually is half of a corset. So this part here, let me get it right. So this part here at the top is actually like this, then like this, and then like this. So this part up here is a corset and it usually has some stuff here in the front where you can tie it, and it is made for pushing up boobs. Like, even if you have small breasts and you wear this thing, it's still gonna push up your boobs and you're gonna have like amazing cleavage. And there's usually a separation here on the waist. So some dirndls have like a different color from down here, and they have like a different one here at the top. I am not doing a good job at drawing this. So yeah, they're made of 2 types of material. There's also the version that only has 1 material, so they usually have a seam here for this corset thingy to stop. Some of them also have like a seam on the side, and some have their seams on the back or under the arm. If you really want to be correct, you just have to look at some reference. The next thing is blouse. That thing. I can never pronounce that right. There's also different types of them. So let me zoom in for that. There are more closeted versions that go up to the neck and then have like buttons here. Then they have the poofy arm thingy. So they basically look like this. They have like the buttons and then they have like the poofy arm thingy, and then they go down and they have like a waist. And they really have like extra fabric, so it really poofs at the end. So that's not just artist's imagination. These things are really made to like poof. And they usually end somewhere. Either they end here at the waist, or they sometimes end directly under the boobs to go together with a bra and to not have as much fabric like in between here, because fabric under a corset sucks. Then you have the second type, which has a much more broader opening. Basically all dirndl blouses have this poofy arm thingy, so you're gonna find that in probably all of them, and then they like go here at the bottom. So they are stretchy at the top, stretchy at the bottom, and stretchy on the arms. So what they do is they basically wrap around your body like this and then like this. So they don't go over your shoulder, they just go down and up. And the third type, which is the one I probably see most often, is they go down here, then up over the shoulder, have like a normal shoulder part, and then poofy thingies. So normal cleavage, shoulder part, poofy thingy, and then down. Yeah, let me draw in a neck, and let me draw in some shoulders here, and let me just draw in a neck here. And those are the arms. Yay! Buttons, some of them have buttons in the front, some don't. Yeah, there's like all kinds of decorations. And now for the last part, which is the apron. The apron usually ends right above, like 1 centimeter above the above where the dress ends, and it's tied around the waist. The good thing about having it tied around your waist is with the aprons there is a ton of color variations, and pretty much all colors go as long as they fit together with the rest of your outfit. Like a really common color combination would be having this top part in red, having the bottom part in some like gray or black, and then for example having a green ribbon. Like that would be a very traditional dress. Another thing I've often seen is like a blue dress with maybe even some kind of pattern. Let's just draw that in real quick. Not best. Tons of cool patterns, and then like a white apron. There's also aprons that have like designs in them, that have like some stuff on them here. And then of course there's also aprons that go against the norm and are, for example, just made out of like some crazy pattern or a net, or for example, so yeah, for Widowmaker you could even give her like a spider web, yeah, thingy. So if I were to make a Widowmaker version of this, I would probably give her the short version of the Dirndl, then make the thing here in her like usual violet color, and then give her like a spider apron, which would still work. I'd probably make this ribbon in the same red as this one, and I'd probably incorporate some red like in here or in her shoes or just stuff like that. Yeah, the last thing that could be interesting is that you can also wear like underskirts under the Dirndl. There's a lot of people that wear these poofy thingies under the Dirndl to make them like poof more like this. So that's definitely an option. And the last step, if you want to incorporate something really cool into your drawing, because I always look out for those details, there are rules on where you put your ribbon of your apron. If you put it on your right side, then that means you're either married or you have a boyfriend, or you're just like not available. If you put it on the left, that means I'm single. If you wear it in the front and the middle, that means virgin. And no, that is not meant for you to signal that you play video games all day and that you are a virgin. So yeah, that is meant for younger children or kids. And yeah, last rule is having your ribbon on the back. That is for waitresses and widows. For the waitresses, that is basically so that they don't get harassed all the time. Yeah, if you want to draw a character in a Dirndl, pay close attention to where you put the ribbon, because that can add a whole nother layer of storytelling. For the first part, I fixed up the background, and now I'm just going through the layers one by one, doing the background, then the tracer girlfriend background layer, then the Reinhardt and Torbjorn layer, and then lastly Mercy. I'll probably switch a bit. The first thing I'm gonna do now that I have the background semi done is go in and do the line work, and then I'm just gonna fill everything in so I have the nice flat colors, and then I will start painting. I've done the line work for Mercy and Torbjörn and Reinhardt, and I'll show you how I do it by outlining Tracer and her girlfriend. Alright, one tool I can really recommend is this one. It's called Lazy Nezomi, and you just tap it and it makes your brush strokes really smooth. I usually just use this normal round brush from Photoshop, and I just go in there and then I just do little lines. If I weren't recording, I would probably res this up a bit, but for the recording I'm gonna make do with a pixelated version. So usually I add all the detail when I do a line work. I rarely do any detail if it's just like this first stage. I often also just work with shapes, but yeah, when I do line work, then this is the point where I'll add the details and think about more designy stuff. I'm still very rough with this line work, and you can see me switch between eraser and brush a lot because I plan on painting this stuff later. So right now I'm not too worried, for example, about this shitty leg thingy here. I'll get anxious about that later. I'm also not sure about the shoe stuff, but oh well, I'll figure that out later. Right now I just want to get away from this scribble state here. I'll still keep track of some of the lines since I'll probably need them later to figure out where some of the light and the shading will go. But yeah, these are pretty much the only few tips I can give you on line work and outlines. If you're using a small graphic tablet like this one, which makes every little shake of your nervous hand into a crackly line, like for example this, it's not even that crackly because the tool smoothed it out, but this thing really helps. So that is pretty much the stage where I have all the colors down, and right now I'm trying to figure out the balance between the background and the foreground because I don't want anything else overshadowing Mercy. So that's the part where I go in between the background, midground and foreground layers and try and lay down some environment fog and also adjust the values. I wasn't happy with Tracer's pose, so I redid it a bunch of times, and at some point I just turned the recording off because it was taking forever. So that's the current pose, and you'll see me change it later again. But yeah, that's the one I got after like 20 tries. at this point I'm basically just rendering the rest of the image. So you can see that I keep my hand on the keyboard for almost the entire rendering process, because I'm mainly using the Alt key to use the color picker and yeah, just pick my colors from the canvas to use them for blending. And yeah, that's basically the rest of the painting. Watching this episode, and maybe you even learned one or two things. And if you do any fan art with lederhosen or Dirndl, definitely feel free to send it my way or tweet it at me. I'd love to take a look at it. And yeah, hope to see you in the next episode of Let's Draw. See you then!